Hey everybody, the December numbers are in, so we're ready for another monthly market update and a 2025 real estate recap. So here we go. New listings for December were up 11% compared to last year. It's the only time this year that we had back-to-back months where we were up in inventory because most of the year we were either significantly up or significantly down compared to that period last year, and we ended the year strong. So overall for the year, we ended up 1.5% more listings in 2025 than we did 2024. So not a huge increase in inventory, pretty similar, but a little bit more. Average list to sales price ratio for December was 98.4%. And the only other time we hit below 99% on that, where the average home is selling below, more than 1% below the list price, was actually January of 2025. So 2025, not a great year in that department. Also, not a great year in average days on market, median days on market. December ended up with 23 as the median days on market and 43 as the average days on market, which was actually also similar to January, of earlier this year. So for the year as a total, we had only 4 months where the average list to sales price ratio was over 100%. So where you could expect homes to sell above the list price, which seems kind of crazy because if you go back to 2021, 2022, or even 2023, we spent 10 to 12 months per year in with an average list to sales price ratio of over 100%. So to only have 4 months this year kind of shows you that we're getting back to kind of pre-pandemic market fluctuations. Also, for average days on market, we had 6 months where we had 30 days or more as the average days on market. And again, if you go back to those same 3 years I just mentioned, we would have 0 to 1 for those years. So, we're trending toward a pre-pandemic market. The good news is this for homeowners. The average home sale is up 5% compared to like a little bit over 5% compared to last year. So that's great. Your home, your investment continues to go up in value, which is great. However, the tendency we're seeing is, go back a few years and we were up 9%, then, 8%, 7%. Now we're at 5%. So we're trending down, which is exactly what they wanted with the interest rates, is they wanted the real estate, increases to be similar to that of inflation and 3% the target goal. And we're definitely trending that direction. So what happens for 2026? Well, I'm not one to usually say too much about the interest rates. At one point, you go back a couple of years, we actually peaked out at about 8%. For the majority of this year, we've spent in 6% range. Occasionally, you see somebody get like a 5.99 or something like that for a 30-year fixed. I think this next year, it's going to be really heavily dependent on what the interest rates do. So I think if we flirt with the 5%, so just even if we're not in 5% the whole time, but just dip down, get into the 5.9, 5.8 throughout the spring, I think that will really keep buyers really interested and it could get competitive. However, if we stay in the low 6s where we have been, I think it'll be similar to last spring and competitive, but not as competitive as we've seen other springs. Same thing, I think by summer or fall, we really need to see the interest rates get down into the mid 5s. If that happens, I think we will have a market very similar to what we had 2-3 years ago. However, if we stay camped out in the 6s, don't really get into the 5s, I think the activity level stays about the same as last year, which again was a good year. But sellers just have to adjust their expectations. But for buyers, depending on which month you buy in, you will expect to see less competition, which is really great. You could potentially get the home that would be amazing for you. So if you or anybody you know is could use some more specific advice on their neighborhood, their home, something like that, is thinking about entering the real estate market in 2026, reach out, let us know. We'd be happy to help. But for now, that's the monthly market update and our end year recap. Talk to you soon.